Hi and welcome to another video part of this series where we're building an e-commerce website with Django. If you'd like to follow along, just go to the Django e-commerce GitHub repository in the link of this video, and you can clone or download this project to follow along. Hey everyone, before we jump into this, if you're interested in becoming a better Django developer, then check out justdjango.com, enroll and you'll get access to exclusive video courses every month on Python, JavaScript, and React with a specific focus on, obviously, Django. The link is in the description below. So this is what we have so far. We have a list of products and we can view a detailed view of that product and we can add it to the cart or remove it from the cart. And in this video, we're going to focus a lot on just improving the display of the site, that being authentication as one part. If we go to accounts login, you can see here is our login page, and we're going to try and style this to look a little bit better. We also have some links that aren't working, such as this products link, and we're going to try and touch up this page as well, and also add a count of how many items are in our cart. Let's go and jump into the HTML to start fixing some of the style. And the first page is the home.html that we'll fix up. I basically want to just remove this whole banner here. It's not really necessary unless you'd like to use it for something. So there's the third slide, and it's everything inside these carousel items that we're going to remove. There's the second one, and there's the first one. So there it is, this entire slides div. Basically just going to remove that and these indicators as well. And then we'll get rid of this whole div here that has the controls as well. So now let's take a look. And there we go. Then I'm also going to remove the download link there at the bottom. And I believe this isn't actually in this file. This is in the footer. So here we have the social icons, and right above there is the call to action. Going to remove that, refresh this, and there we go. Then I'm also going to remove the products link there. So that we can do inside the nav bar, and we'll just get rid of it there. There we go. And then the home link and checkout link I'm actually also going to remove, and we'll just say that this DJ Ecommerce, this logo, is what you'll press to go to the home view. Here I'm just going to comment this out because maybe you want to use it to specify something there. And okay, that style is a little bit messed up, so let's just comment out the list items instead. There we go. And so then here on the right hand side, we don't want to show the cart if the user is not authenticated yet. So we'll come inside here and I'm going to copy that list item, and here we'll say if request.user is authenticated, then we will show that item, and I'll say else, then we'll show this item, and we'll get rid of that I tag there, get rid of the span there, and this is just going to be login. And then the href here, I'll specify as a URL. So this will be account login. And if we refresh that, now it says login. If we click that, it takes us to this page. And what I'll also do is add another list item here and say this is logout. And we'll do another one for sign up. And this will be account sign up, and this is account log out. So if we refresh this, there we have it. And so to style this page, we're going to need the templates, and that comes from Django All-Auth's GitHub repository. So we're just going to search for it, and I'm just going to download it. And what you're going to want to do is just go in the All-Auth directory and copy the templates directory. So copy that. And then when you come back in here, you're going to want to paste it and make sure you don't overwrite our templates folder already. So I'm going to add it in here. Okay, there it is. I've added the templates directory, and I'm going to move those three folders there. And then we have the base.html file that it uses. So I'm going to copy all of those contents and we'll paste them here in ours. Then I'll remove this div that has all the links because we don't need that. And I'll remove block content because we're already using block content. And I'll take the extra body and put that underneath there. And we'll also get rid of the messages because we already have messages here. And then I'll take all of that stuff that's inside the head and I'll come paste it there. And we can get rid of ours. And then other than that, there's nothing else. So we can get rid of all of that. And now we have access to these templates. So I'm going to delete that templates directory. And we can go into the account login.html file. And if we compare this to the home.html file, we basically want to see what containers we need to put our content inside to make it look consistent. So that would look to be the main and the container. If I close the nav bar there, there's a section and then a div with row while fade in. So I'm actually just going to copy that and then we'll just try and paste all of that here inside the block content. And of course we don't want the nav bar, so I'm going to get rid of the entire nav bar. And then we'll just close off all of these tags. And I'm going to take all of this and just cut that out and paste that here in that row. And we can try and tab this in. Cool, so that's what it looks like. So if we go back and let's just refresh this page. And okay, let's come back in here and we'll add a div with a class of column 12 and then down here. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to remove the text center. And I think we'd probably like to make use of Django crispy forms, but until we install that, let's just change the class for this submit or sign in button to button primary. And then this I'll say is button default for the forgot password. So if we refresh that, and so let's go and install Django crispy forms. We can just say pip install Django crispy forms. There we go. I'm also going to say pip freeze into requirements.txt. And now we need to go into our settings. So DJ Ecommerce settings base, and we're going to just go to the bottom here. I'll say for crispy forms. And this is just going to be the crispy template pack, which is bootstrap 4. And then in login.html, I'll go here to the top and I'll just say load crispy forms tags. And here at the form, I'll change this to crispy. And then we can refresh this. And okay, not a registered library. That's right. We need to add it in our installed apps as well. So here, just add crispy forms. And we can come back and refresh this. And that looks a lot better. And so perhaps we'd also like to just bring that in a little bit. So if we just come up here, this could be column 6 and offset 3. And there we go. I'm not going to go and do the sign up page as well, but as a practice, you could probably try and do that yourself. You can see it's pretty straightforward. So if I go and log in, then it redirects us to accounts/profile. And what I'm going to do is just go here to the base.py, and down here, I'll say that the login redirect URL equals / so that we can at least redirect to a URL that we have on the site. And there it says we've signed in, and we also have the option to log out. I'm going to go and log out and just sign out there. And let's try and log in again to see if the redirect works, and it does. Cool. So now we can work on this pagination, and this is actually very simple. If we just go back here, we can close this, and all we need to do is just go to our view. So that's in core views, and it's the home view. So inheriting from a list view, and we can specify the paginate by, which is a field on the class, And we could say paginate by, let's say 1, just to see that it works. And if we come back and refresh this, now we see that there's only 1, and we can just change these numbers here to match the query set. So let's go back into home.html, and we'll scroll down here to the pagination. And so right here above the nav, I'm going to add a condition and say if is paginated. And this is something being passed in by the class-based view, so in the context. And then right here underneath it, then I'll say end if. So if we come back, now you can see that it is paginated, which means that this is a variable in the context. And then here above the previous arrow, I'm going to say if the page object dot has previous, then we will show this link, and then just say end if. So if we go back, refresh this, now that arrow is gone because this is the first page of the query set, so you can't go backwards, you can only go forwards. So right here we'll do the same kind of logic, just say if page object dot has next, and then say end if. And we do. So now we need to add the link inside this href. And this is going to be $page equals to. So we're setting the page variable. If I set this equal to 2 and we just see what this does, then if I click it, it takes us to page 2 and there's the second item. So instead of it being a static variable, we want this to be dynamic. And this is going to come from the page object. So we'll say page object dot next page number. Then if we refresh this, and let's just go back to page 1, and you click it, then it goes to page 2. And then we'll do the same thing for the back arrow. So if we come down, so in there, this will be page equals page object dot previous page number. And we can refresh this, and we can't click it. That's because this is disabled. So let's refresh this. And if you click that, now you can go back between those pages. And just to be simple, I'm not going to output all of these numbers. I'm only going to show the current page that we're on. So what I'll do is get rid of all of those items, and we're only showing the active item. And this is going to be equal to page equals page object dot number. And then we'll output that exact same thing over there. So now let's refresh this, and it says 2. Now it says 1. Cool, so that's at least working. I'm going to go back here to the view though. So let's just close templates, and back here I'm going to paginate this by, let's say 10, and then we can refresh this, and now we don't have page 2. So there we go. And so now let's display the cart item count here in the nav bar. And we're going to do this with a template tag. So here inside core, we'll just create a template tags directory. And inside there, we'll create the cart template tags, which will be a Python file. And here we just need to say from Django import template. And then we need to import our model. So we'll say from core.models import order. And then we'll say that register equals to template.library. This is so that we can register our template tag. And we just have to define a function, which is going to be the name of the template tag. And we can say this is the cart item count, which we're going to say takes in a user. And above this function, we just say at register dot filter. And first we need to check if the user is authenticated, because if they aren't, then we don't want to show that they have something in a cart. So we're going to say that the query set equals to order.objects.filter, and we can check the model here on the order. So we can filter it by the user and say where user equals to user, but also making sure that ordered is false. So we don't want to get their previously ordered orders. And then we'll just say if the query set exists, we'll return query set of 0. So getting the only order in that query set. And then we're going to get a count of the number of items in the order. So we'll say .items.count. Otherwise, if the user is not authenticated, then we'll just return 0. So now that we have the cart item count as a template tag, we just need to go into the navbar because that's where the cart count is displayed. So right here at the top, we're going to need to load in our template tag. So we'll just call load, and this is going to be the name of the file. So that'll be cart template tags. And then we can take our function name and we can come down here to that number 1. And here we just pass the request.user, which is already in the template. And then using the pipe operator, we can call our cart item count on there to display the count. So let's see what this looks like. If I refresh this, it says it's not registered, and this could be just from not refreshing the server. There we go. Now we see there's 1 item in the cart, and we can try and remove from the cart and see which one it was. And there we go. Now it's back down to 0. If I add it to cart again, now it's at 1. And that sums up what we wanted to do in this video. If you've enjoyed it, leave a comment down below and let us know what you think so far. In the next few videos, we're going to get started with the order summary, displaying all the items in the cart, and also taking a look at that fancy checkout form that we saw earlier on. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.